So let's talk about this. There's been this question about in motorcycle Kenya.
Yeah.
Many people don't know what motorcycle Kenya is.
Yeah.
So there's been cases where bikers have been arrested in town.
Yeah.
First, let's start. What is motorcycle Kenya? Is it something for all bikers who should register? What is the benefits of motorcycle Kenya?
Yeah. That's a very good question. You keep it's been asked for many years, and it's a very genuine question. Motorcycle Kenya is an umbrella body of all the bikers in the country. We actually have the Nyumba Kumis who work directly. Our system of operation is the Nyumba Kumis.
So Nyumba Kumis is
actually is in the structure of Motorcycle Kenya.
okay.
So
Also, that structure for Nyumba Kumi means if you're on a certain road like Mombasa Road,
yes,
that is Nyumba Kumi Mombasa Road.
Yes.
So how is it for all the roads in Kenya that should have a Nyumba Kumi or?
Yes. So let me answer. First, the body.
Yeah.
A body doesn't mean we have executive roles in any club or Nyumba Kumi. Being an umbrella body is we give oversight nationally, and we have 4 pillars. Legislation, which acts on basically it's a legislature arm of the body. So if in case a biker is harassed by the police, is harassed by anyone, we come in if they are our members, and we are come in and help. We also have the advocacy.
Okay. If they are your members.
If they are our members.
So when someone is harassed,
yes,
and they call you, how do you verify that they are a member? And at that moment, the harassment, the police have already taken the key. So you have like 2 minutes to figure out whether this is a member or not. How do you know?
Our members know how we work. When you are,
you have a system.
We have a system.
How does
we
it
have
work?
a card system.
Oh, card.
A card. When you become a member, you are given a membership card, which has a very distinct number. Okay. Secondly, we have stickers on every bike. Like you see my bike here, there is a motorcycle Kenya. So that sticker, again, when they call that number, since we have your database, we can then look at your status and know how to help you.
So in that case where someone has been harassed, how do you normally intervene?
So sometimes because of the biker community, we've been really not very strict on membership. Right now we've been keen on sensitizing the bikers to know what MK does. So we are not yet to that stage of punitive where we say we are very exclusive, because they are very new bikers. So every year I think we have close to 120 people who join riding, and they actually we are trying to settle them up in
120.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, in Nyumba Kumis. Some of them are self-taught, some of them go through a trainer, some of them are people coming back. They used to ride abroad, or they used to ride, then they stopped, they came back, they bought a bike. Some of them, they're just looking at biking as therapy. So just coming back to the pillars, we have what we call LAST, which is a legislation, association, safety and training. In the legislation arm, that's when anyone is arrested by the Kanjo, like last year, Bat 1, we were not able to access CBD, and me, the legal and the team, the Motorcycle Kenya team, the chair, Reverend Nick Coril, Vice Chair Choa, Getao, and Njeri, the secretary. We actually went in with the help of the Star MCA where CBD falls, and we had a meeting with the head of the Kanjo, who is Kagongo, and they asked us to sign up 1,000 signatures in 3 days to show that we are a large community.
I remember that drive.
So we did that drive, and successfully we were able to be allowed into the CBD. So for us, really.
So when you say allowed into the CBD,
yes,
does that mean right now a biker akiingia CBD?
Yes,
they have legal access. So if Kanjo akiwasimamisha, that is illegal. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, if you're a private biker.
If you're a private biker,
the biggest
registered under Motorcycle
Kenya. The biggest problem with any person, any enforcement officer, is to distinguish if you are a private or a PSV rider.
Yes.
Legally, a private sticker insurance should distinguish you. But sometimes, depending on the size of the bikes, there are bikes that look like border borders. So the complaint they had was there was no way to distinguish, and that's why we signed up the 1,000 to show we are quite a number, and then we brought it to their attention.
Yeah.
The way to identify us is with a sticker and with an MK card. And I will say this year, a few have been arrested, and when they flash that card, the officers know. So there was a ban of all motorbikes to go into the CBD. So we went in and stopped the ban for us as private bikers, because border borders, they are friends, they help us, we work together sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think there was a commercial side that the government didn't want them to crowd the town.
Yeah.
So, but as private bikers, we go into work into the CBD. We were being harassed when you're going into town, so you cannot be harassed as you ride into town, but you should not be allowed, when you park in a public parking, you should pay for the pay for the NMS fee.
Yeah.
That is like a daily parking.
Yeah.
But if you are on your way, you should not be harassed. Previously, if you are riding in, you'd be pushed off your bike. Even ladies were being pushed off the bike, and that got us so not so happy, I would say. And that's why we thought it was unfair and there was no justice. So we went in and we have an agreement with them. Okay. So if you are a private biker and you have a card and you have any issue, they call the emergency number, and then we come in to help them. So actually, when you go into town, even if you're a private biker, the ban that was lifted was not against the fees. If you are going into a building where you work and maybe they have a parking for you, then you don't have to pay, because every day you go into work. But if you don't have a parking that is a private parking, then the officers will arrest you if you park in a public parking.
Yeah.
So that distinguishing factor is that every private biker can go, but the only way for them to distinguish about a border and a private biker is a sticker and a membership card. And that's why for me I would encourage, it's not advocacy and legislation is only one arm of the association. Now they're registered, we are fully now recognized by the NTSA and by the government as a private bikers association, because you cannot activate for bikers as an individual.
Yeah.
And that's why most of the times we went to do advocacy for bikers into town, we were brought back and asked, who are you? And that's why we saw the need to legally register as a private bikers association, as the only association that is activates for the legal or rights of bikers in the country.
Okay, so basically there's a benefit there. But my question now I'll ask, so registering, how should I register? You know, bikers hatutaki kwenda kwa ofisi kupiga lights. We bought a bike to avoid traffic and lights. Is there a number we can call and we just send digital? And how much is it?
Yeah, currently we have a centralized way of registering. If you are a non-member, you're not in any group, when you call the MK emergency number, which is right behind me, 0711114050.
4450.
4450. Then you get to be given information. But in most of the groups, we have a link which you don't need to see a third person. You just click on the link, fill in the information. It has information for also payment. Our membership fee is 1,000 to allow everyone.
That 1,000 is it a monthly, yearly?
The 1,000 is it's not a lifetime. It's an annual subscription. Okay. Which we account for it in our annual AGM every March of every year. So since we are an association, our books are audited, and therefore you are sure that your money again is accounted for when it is spent in the right. We avoid being individuals. Okay. When we were starting, we were just trying to raise money, but with an association, I think we are accountable to the government, and we are able to.
Okay. Let me ask you, what you're doing is quite big, because you're doing it as a group. What will you say? I've seen some bikers there who are pushing the same agenda as individuals. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, I wouldn't say it's a good thing, but what would be your message to them? Don't you think one person is doing the same thing but in a different way, or it's okay, let them do what they're doing?
I think we believe in unity in our diversity. Unity does not mean we have to do things in the same way, because we all have different approaches. For me as a pastor, I serve the bikers as a pastor. If another person is a lawyer, they serve bikers as a lawyer. The only question I would say is, again, not repeating or repeating what has been done again, and working with structures, especially for accountability and for continuation. What I've done for years, served with MK, I'm so sure years to come will be still being done because there's an association.
Okay.
So I would urge anyone, any biker, regardless of race, tribe, gender, if you have an interest for bikers, you just do a formal application to us and see how we can partner. We are supposed to complement each other and not compete each other. So we are very open and we'll be more than willing because we need support from every professional and from every biker in the country for us to be able to push one agenda, and that is the bikers' unity and bikers' advocacy, safety, and the training of bikers in the country.
Okay. So 2 serious questions about this MK and then tuende kwa the silly questions zenye zinakuanga. There's the incident that happened at Muthaiga roundabout. As you're from Thika Road, that roundabout, as you're going into Muthaiga, bikers were not allowed to pass there. Why was that the case? And is that the case still now? So you led a protest, it was even aired on TV, and they said it's illegally for bikers to pass. But still now, keep it hapo, unasimamishwa. Why is that the case?
Cycle Kenya, an umbrella body for private motorcyclists, have staged a protest to contest the move by police to restrict their access on Muthaiga Road. The members, in a letter to the Inspector General of Police, want police officers stopped from restricting their access to the road on the basis of an undisclosed directive.
Hundreds of private motorcyclists along Muthaiga Road. Their mission? To protest what they say is continuous police harassment and restriction from accessing the road. The group says their members have been assaulted and harassed by police officers who claim they have been given a directive to ban them from using the public road. The motorcyclists would stage demonstrations along Muthaiga Road, Kiumbe Road, the Northern Bypass, Ruaka and Limuru Road presented their demand letter at Muthaiga Police Station, asking the Inspector General of Police to give information on what basis the private motorcyclists are being restricted from using the road. They demanded for the lifting of the restrictions, saying it was unfair. The motorcyclists have threatened to move to court within the next 1 week if the Inspector General fails to address their grievances.
What had happened was, I understand there was an accident that had happened, and with a lorry, and the Residents Association of Muthaiga requested that the road be closed for any public service vehicle. Border borders are public service.
Oh.
Yeah, so again, it comes back to identification. Because the government has always had challenges with the border self-regulation and accountability. There is a claim that a lot of incidences, and some are true, some are exaggerated, that borders use their motorbikes to steal from residents or to do criminal activities. And that is one of our core mandates, to distinguish ourselves from border. That's why we have the Private Bikers Association, which is MK, and we have the Border Association of Kenya.
Okay.
So we have 2 objectives. So the greatest issue was, how do you distinguish private bikers from border? So we did the ride, and we add a letter to the OCS and to the county commander of that sub county. So we did a ride to actually show we were peaceful, we were a number of us, and we went and issued a letter and explained to them who we are. We were very sober people, we were professionals, just that we use motorbikes rather than cars or walking. And they understood, and the ban was lifted.
Yeah.
So again,
so the main issue is that private and biker distinguish.
Yes, the distinction, if it's very clear, that's why we ask everyone who is not a member, it just takes 5 minutes to register on the link.
Okay.
And for you to, it takes 1 month for you to get that card.
Okay, fair enough.
And we need the numbers for us to be able to fight. Most of the estates, most of the malls, we as bikers are being discriminated. So the umbrella body and the Private Bikers Association, our work is to clarify that we are not criminals. We are normal people, we are citizens who bring economic value. who are families,
Okay.
and for people to change the perception.
Yeah.
Not everyone on two wheels is a criminal or
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I like that, especially when you mentioned that about criminal.
yeah.
I wanted to ask, there's a time that a rider hit a private car,
Yeah.
and then you led the team, a group of bikers, to go to the family.
Yeah.
Was it actually not, the rider passed on? Okay, there's actually one where the rider passed on, and there's one where a rider hit and ran.
Yeah, it was
So let's talk about that hit and run, because you led the bikers to go to that family and say sorry for that rider.
yeah.
So why did you do that? And did the rider even come in that part of the sorry? Because I hear the ethics part, where you're just trying to show we are civilized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would encourage every biker, when you do something wrong and you're caught, just commit and stop and say sorry. Sometimes it's not even the payment.
Yeah. Tell me about your top safety rules.
One is visibility. All my bikes, I put in lights. Most of the bikers call my bikes a Christmas tree, which for me, I really don't mind.
Yeah.
Because for me, the first thing is a lot of drivers are absent-minded.